up a little bit so I don't have to be right eating the mic to. You can just go ahead if you want.
Yeah, well, I'm Judith Pereno, the professor of music, and
Then why don't you come up to the mic?
oh, right.
Do them a favor.
Welcome everybody. Judith Pereno, professor of music here at Cornell University, and it's my pleasure and honor to present to you and introduce June Millington of the legendary rock group Fanny. Many of you probably already know that she and her sister Jean founded this all-women shredding powerhouse rock group.
Played through. What was really great about starting to play around then was that a lot of great composers were coming out with music, and a lot of great artists and bands were coming out with music. Now, I know you've heard of the Beatles, right? You've all heard of the Beatles. But there were a lot of other people who were recording who were just totally amazing. Burt Bacharach and Hal David were in the heyday of writing hit song after hit song. I never thought it would end. I mean, I just assumed great music would come out of the radio. And it did pretty much to the 70s and to the 80s. I mean, I don't think the hits that are coming out right now are as great as what we grew up with. But quite frankly, because we were a dance band, we played all the hits. So let me give you an idea of one of the first songs that we broke our teeth on. Hmm? I'm sorry, what? Who said that?
I'm giving you some ambiance.
Oh, thank you. Oh, wow. That's good. Is this good? That's it. Stop. I remember the words, doesn't matter. Down, 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 stole for You Can Drive My Car. Baby, you can. Don't, that lick. Down to the same sort of she's a baby, you can drive my car. Baby, you can drive my car. Anyway, that's not how I meant to start off the show. It's just how it's happening. So, so many great songs that we cut our teeth on, like na 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 na. What song is that? Midnight Hour by Wilson Pickett. What other hits did he have, Wilson Pickett? See, you probably weren't even born. Midnight Hour. I'm gonna get to the midnight hour. But of course, horns and all that kind of stuff. So I feel really lucky that I grew up with that kind of stuff because I learned how to play different styles of rhythm, of which my two biggest influences, quite frankly, are Steve Cropper and Jimi Hendrix. Jimmy was an incredible rhythm guitar player. I don't know if you know that. He actually liked playing the rhythm more than he played lead, or at least that's what he said. So I realized sometime around 2015, say, that, oh my God, I stole a lot of stuff from Jimmy. I didn't even realize that I did. When I say steal, I mean borrowed. I'm trying to think of what song I want to start off with. Okay, I think I'll start off with Your Own Way. So I've had a long career, and it's gone through different phases. Fanny was a huge phase, and it lasted. I left in '73. I moved back east. I ended up in Long Island on the tip of near Peconic, and then I ended up in Woodstock, which was really great. And then I ended up back in LA, and I ended up getting involved in women's music through playing with Chris Williamson. How many of you know or have heard of? Okay, good. So I went on her first tour with her. Can you tell me when the first year was that she went out and was amazing, was like so rock and roll? Do you even know what year that was? Anybody? 76, yeah. So 75, she was recording Changer and the Change, and that's when I played on it. Just giving you a little bit of rundown. And so in '74, I wrote this song, which is called Your Own Way, and it's basically in the New Orleans funk style. I'm talking about the Meters, the Neville Brothers, who my sister Jean turned me on to. I didn't really hear about them. She said, Jean, we ought to listen to the Neville Brothers, so funky. So I did, and about 3 or 4 months later, we were in New Orleans doing gigs with them. So that's how fast it would happen for us. So this is called Your Own Way, and it's really a song dedicated to my mother because she always encouraged me and Jean to play, or to go after that which made us so happy, which playing guitars and singing and writing songs, and then eventually being in bands, totally filled the slot. So this is called Your Own Way, and it might get a little bit loud in places. I'm missing my band, but I'll make do. Well, my mama raised me to be strong. She taught me how to face the world. You got, she said, girl, you got to understand. They think you're just another girl. How long can you keep on What people on the corner say, you got to do what's best for you. You gotta make it your own way. 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 Make it your own. Do it, show the people. Come on, go and get it. Go out and get it, girl. Go on, go and get it. Yeah, yeah. Doom, doodle-doo, doodle-doo-doo. Do it, show the people. Well, people come by, all look me in the eye, wondering what's behind. Gonna check it out now, wonder what it's about. Well, I'm about to lose my mind. But lately, I've been remembering the words Mama used to say. Girl, don't never let yourself down. You gotta make it your own way. 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 Make it, you gotta show the your own way. Make it something way down inside. Make your own way. Make it your own way. Show the people. Go on, go and get it. Go on and get it, girl. Go on, go and get it. Yeah. For all the world to see. Go on, get it. All the world to see. All the world to see. Go on, get it. All the world to see. Show the people. My mama told me to go out and do. Mama told me it all depends on you. And what she told me, well, it's a goddamn world. You better get your mind straight. Don't wanna see you burn, burn, burn. Woman, do. Mama said, woman, do it. Mama said, woman, do what you said. You bet I'm gonna do it. Boom, boom, yo, yo, way. Yo, yo, way. Yo, yo, way. There you got the Neville brothers, and I think you got a little bit of Jimmy, maybe. His phrasing is so distinctive. It's just nice to have that on my throat. Okay. I just got to choose what decade I'm going to take my material from, because I started writing in the 60s, so I have songs from every single decade. Um, okay. I think I wrote this 70s. Oh, 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 oh. A world for the strangers, invisible lines. Make me a part of the rhythm that binds. Cover the naked, deliver the blind. 'Cause heaven loves a stranger, heaven loves a stranger, heaven loves a stranger who tries. Whoa, heaven, heaven, depending on heaven, heaven, depending on heaven, heaven, depending on heaven loves a stranger who tries. Who are the prophets? Who are the fools? When you let disaster happen to you, bringing the faithful miracle times. 'Cause heaven loves a stranger, heaven loves a stranger, heaven loves a stranger who tries. Oh, heaven, heaven, depending on heaven, heaven, depending on heaven, heaven, depending on heaven loves a stranger who tries. Love the fool, taking the stranger, it might be you, caught in the danger. Love the fool, taking the stranger, it might be you, caught in the danger zone. Fire on the water, heaven, heaven, depending on heaven, heaven, depending on heaven, heaven, depending on heaven loves a stranger who tries. How many of you have heard of the group Little Feat? Okay, so the drummer of Little Feat, Richie Hayward, played on this recording. I think I ran into him in the street. I said, Richie, I'm going to record some songs. Want to come by the studio? And he was the type of the guy who would always say, yeah, I'm up for it, or I'm down for it, whichever. Lowell George was a huge influence on me. If you know his playing, I'm not really going to play slide for you tonight because I don't have a band, but big influence. So this is a song that I wrote when my hair was turning white. I had pretty dark brown hair. And when it turned white, I got these kind of flames on my temples. That was pretty cool. Then it started to just sort of, I don't know, spread. So by the time that we moved the Institute for the Musical Arts from California to Massachusetts, to Goshen, Massachusetts, it was pretty much half white and half dark. So that was around 2001. And people used to run up to me all the time. Literally, that's why this song was written. It wrote itself, basically. They'd go, I love your hair, and they just run off. At the grocery store, on the street corner, at the airport. Had a young woman who was cleaning the hotel room in Arizona or New Mexico. And she asked me if she could touch my hair, and I said, well, you know, I mean, you don't just let anybody touch your hair. I mean, I don't know how you are, but I don't let just anybody touch my hair. So she asked if she could touch my hair, and I said, yeah, but why? And she said, because my grandmother used to have me braid her hair, and her hair was that color, so I just would love to touch you and your hair. So I said, yeah, and she almost started crying. It was such a big deal to her, and that's when I realized that the reason why people were coming up to me and saying, I love your hair, because women wouldn't let their hair turn white. Well, now I see, you know. But for me, it was like a real political statement. So this song is literally called I Love Your Hair. And it was written, the Institute for the Musical Arts is a nonprofit organization my partner and I, Ann, who's up with the merch, founded along with Angela Davis and Roma Barron and a couple other people. Basically for women in music, we're carrying it forward. We own a property in Massachusetts. We have a performance center and 2 recording studios. We do rock and roll girls camps in the summer. We do lots of different shows through the year. It's called I Love Your Hair. This is a song that wrote itself. I got age, I got stock bonds, same page, I still say right on. In the 60s, 17, before disco, before Queen, I met a woman walking down the street. I know, the year 2000, how can that be? She said, I like your hair. It's turning white. I said, where? She said, I love your hair. I love your hair. It's turning white all on its own. Well, it's all right, 'cause it's all homegrown. It's hanging nice, just like before. Like I was 20, playing rock and roll. Before computers, before the Gap, before Madonna, before rap. Hey, people say, hey, how you been? You're looking good. Say, what's that color in? 'Cause I love your hair. I love your hair. It feels good. It feels fine. It feels good and it's all mine. It feels great. I feel it now. Feels wonderful. And it makes me want to cry when I say I love your hair. I love your hair. You can make some rhythm noises if you want. Do you have some change you can jiggle? I make mistakes, make amends. Well, it's endless, time bends. Well, that's okay, 'cause I'm getting older. Pretty soon, it'll be all over. The young ones say, you must be wise. Looking up, now that's a surprise. It changed the color of their hair, like we used to. Change it everywhere, 'cause I love your hair. I love your hair. Feels good. Feels nice. Feels nice. Feels good. Feels nice. Feels good. And I wanna raise it twice 'cause I say I love my talking? Yeah. Honestly, I couldn't have written that song by myself. It happened in the middle of the night at IMA East, which is in Goshen, Massachusetts. If you ever want to visit, it is a public institute. Like I said, we have our performance center, 2 studios, and we're like 20 minutes from Smith College, so it's near Northampton, but just enough outside the city where we can do whatever it is we want. I'll do, just give me a second here to switch guitars. So yeah, so this is my Les Paul that I've had since, I would say, I bought it off of Kent Henry, who was the replacement guitar player in Steppenwolf. So I saw this guitar play in Steppenwolf, and I never expected to buy it. I didn't even think of owning this guitar. But I was on the road with Fanny, and he called me up, and he said, June, would you buy me my guitar? And I said, this was my first real hint of what the business of music is like. He says, because I need the money. You play in Steppenwolf and you have no money? Really? Really, that's what it was. So I said, well, listen, I don't really want to buy it, but if our accountant says it's okay, then, and I didn't think anything more of it. I told our road manager, and when we got home from that tour, there I was sitting in the living room at our house that we call Fanny Hill. So I didn't really pick it up right away, but we did an album at Apple Studios. 71 was a huge year for us. We played the Fillmore West, the Fillmore East. We were on the Sonny and Cher show in the fall. We played live with Barbara Streisand, 2 cuts on her album. We actually did play The Tonight Show, but he couldn't take it. He cut right to a commercial. I thought that was really a weenie thing for him to do. We didn't even get to meet him. But slowly but surely, I fell in love with this guitar. It's totally seduced me to the point where I sold my other guitar, which I never should have, my ES-355. And this guitar took over, the Les Paul. This guitar, however, I bought in 2007, just trying to get it together. I had actually gotten it from Taylor for somebody else to try out, a young student that we had at IMA, and she didn't like it. I'm like, what? So I was putting it away in its case, and it just came alive in my hands and wrote a song. I couldn't let go of it. But this is a song that I wrote when what year was it when that insurrection happened? January 6th? 2021, okay. So when that happened, I knew there was something up. So I canceled everything for like a week, and I wrote I wrote three songs. And this is, wow, really? I better not move. Wow. This is about, it's called Girls Don't Dream, parentheses, The Big Lie. And I was thinking about all the things that girls either couldn't or weren't supposed to do. In my case, definitely a girl was not supposed to play electric guitar. I mean, a lot of people let me know that. But the whole band wasn't supposed to play. You know, you weren't supposed to have drums and bass and keyboards, and you weren't supposed to rock out for sure. Girls didn't do that. Girls couldn't, in the 60s, you know, couldn't have their own bank accounts or own their own house. As far as I know, you had to have a husband sign for you, or I guess a brother or somebody. There were a lot of things you couldn't do. You weren't supposed to dream. So my first hint that things were changing was in high school when I don't know who started the fight or the revolution for us to wear pants in school. That was a big deal. Do you remember anybody? Yeah, you remember that. We weren't supposed to wear pants. Well, heck, man, we started to be able to wear pants. That was pretty cool. But then, my sister's boyfriend was in a surf band. Surf band, pretty cool. Help me, Rhonda, help me get it right in my heart. Boom, 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 boom. That was a great phase. Actually, I'll tell you the truth, we didn't know who was going to be bigger, the Beach Boys or the Beatles. It's kind of impossible to think about that now, but honestly, we didn't know. But we were from California, and they were from Southern California, south of LA. So their first out-of-town gig was in Sacramento. So we felt like we owned the Beach Boys. It was a big deal. So in this song, I run through the litany of what I remember that girls weren't supposed to do. A lot of moms would tell their daughters, for example, don't tell a joke, don't be funnier than your husband, they don't like that. Don't be smarter, don't act like you're smarter, don't let them know you're smarter because they don't like that, etc. I mean, this is a true story, I'm not making this up. This is hints for girls to succeed, and how you succeeded in life was to marry, That's nothing wrong with that, but for that to be the only goal, I don't think so. By the way, I have recorded this song. I have a new CD out called Snapshots, which we have up there, and I'm inordinately proud of it. Make noise, all right, go ahead. I remember when we couldn't dream of a future ahead of a burning stream, expected to wait our turn, but when was that? Keep to the kitchen, you mustn't be heard. Don't be funny, don't fly like a bird. Stay in your lane, don't question the rules. Don't break the glass. Girls don't dream. There was a big lie. 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 Girls didn't speak out or laugh too loud. Keep to the color line, damn, that was hard. Girls didn't pick up electric guitars, play through amps, tune in, tune out. Girls didn't strut or make any noise. That was exclusive space for the boys, forming their clubs and forming their teams, but that didn't last. Girls don't dream. There was a big lie. That was a lie. That was a lie. Was a big lie. Whoa. was okay if you didn't break ranks or talk about problems, 'cause Father knows best. Had to conform, had to wear a dress, straight-laced lives in a uniform. Not of our making, we had to conform. Make pretty noises, smile like a charm. Don't scare the people. Girls don't dream. There was a big lie. That was a lie. Doo-doo, doo-doo. Man, what a lie. Girls don't dream. You know, when we first moved here in '61, one of the biggest hits later on that year was a Runaround Sue. Of course you don't remember that. You do? Who wrote that? Who wrote and recorded it? Oh. Say that louder so everyone can hear it. Was that you? Yeah, say it again. Who wrote it? Who sang it? Dion, right. You've got your mask on. He's got a new album coming out. I think it's a date, right? I think he also did If I Were a Carpenter. Did he write that? I'm going back in the years. And you were a lady? Would you marry me anyway? Would you have my baby? Who was that? That was the 60s, wasn't it? Still? Tim Harden was, maybe it was Harden. Oh, we're just gonna have a private conversation.
Dion did cover it.
Oh, okay. Huge hit. Huge hit. Oh, the one who got away. I might as well do that. Okay. So this is a song I wrote at the old creamery in Bodega, California. And the reason why that place is so important to me is that is where the Institute for the Musical Arts, which I've already referenced, a nonprofit for women and girls in music for all of time, they get all our archives. The girls who are coming to camp now are going to be running the place when we're gone. So it's here to last and to pass on the music. But when I was growing up in the Philippines, I was 13 when we got here from Manila. My mom's Filipina, my dad was white actually from Burlington, Vermont, a graduate of Annapolis. And, you know, it wasn't so great for me I loved the home life at our grandmother and grandfather's big compound. It's very oriental in that way. But I didn't like going to the American school because then all the kids were white, they had a different home experience, you know, so I felt really kind of out of it. And so I felt not too much accepted, and then when we moved here to Sacramento, we were half Filipina, so we didn't fit in either. Until we started to play music publicly, and everything just improved dramatically, and we realized, wow, this is the thing, you know. So I wrote a song called The One Who Got Away in Bodega. My ear is filling up with air. I must be getting really emotional. Okay. But this is called The One Who Got Away. Might be too loud for you. I don't want to screw around with the guitar because it might make some noises. Oh, that's not good either. You know, I know you're not familiar with these Fender amps. This is so powerful that I just move it just a quarter of from between 0 and 1, and it's a huge difference. But I think this is okay. Wow. Okay, June, don't foolish one at school, always slightly out of fashion. You know, our kids are kind of cruel. She knew that some of them were laughing. She was meant to be inspired. She was meant for higher rule. Thought she'd head for higher ground. In a room where things don't matter, in a place so far away, in her head forever after, she's the one who got away. Hey, hey, hey. She's the one who got away. She's the one who got away. Hey, from the moon she got away. She's the one who got away. In the main street of town, the thick suburban matter, they kick her feelings around. She no longer hears them laughing. She's meant for high rule. She just got to get away to a place she can't be found. In a room where things don't matter, in a place where far away, in her head forever after, she's the one who got away. She's the one who got away. To her mind she got away. She's the one who got away. In a room where it don't matter, in her mind it doesn't matter. She's the one who got away. She's the one who got away. From her mind she got away. In a room where things don't matter, in a place so far away, in her head forever after, she's the one who got away. That's a true story. So, you know, I'll just continue picking up tunes I want to do unless you have something in particular that you're dying to hear that I can still do. You know, there's a lot of songs that I can't quite pull together, especially without a band. I'm playing in Fredonia on Tuesday, and I'm going to have, we're going to rehearse on Monday night, so let's see how that goes. One of the songs we're going to do, but I'm not going to do it now, I'm just going to talk about it just a little bit, is Hey Bulldog, which Fanny recorded at Apple Studios. Does these references mean anything to you? Okay, so the Beatles owned Apple. Their studios were, their offices were right above the studio, and we recorded with their engineer, Jeff Emmerich, who actually was the engineer on Hey Bulldog, which we recorded at Apple, and we wrote an extra verse. I'm just going to mention that the reason why John wrote this song was a lark for him. We took it seriously. They just kind of threw it as like just another song for them, you know. But he loved the James Bond themes, you know. Goldfinger! Anyway. Okay, he kind of recognized that. That was, what was her name? What was her name? Shirley Bassey. What a voice. Oh my God. So he loved that kind of stuff. So he goes, you can talk to me. You can talk to me. Well, Paul Buckmaster, he's not a really well-known name, but if you hear any of the early Elton John stuff, like This Song's For You, he wrote all those string arrangements. Anyway, he wrote the string arrangement for this. Now what he did was he added this. Well, that was John's version of Goldfinger. Honestly, and he just wrote another song. Well, I mean, can you imagine? You just like toss off something like that, it's no big deal. But we wrote an extra verse to it, and we did record it with his engineer and his. If you get a chance to listen to it, it's absolutely transcendent. And actually, we hit the nail on the head on that. And I remember we just had a really good time recording it, and I got to ask Jeff, Geoff. I got to ask Jeff a lot of questions about the Beatles, how they recorded, where they stood, and all that kind of stuff. And he would answer my questions after our session was done. So we'd be down like at 8, he'd go play the piano. Everyone else would leave but me. Then he'd come back and he'd say, okay. And then he'd start to tell me questions, answer my questions. There's one story he told me I'm just going to tell you. I don't think he would mind. I didn't ask him this, but he said, Paul came in one night. He was so mad at everyone. This is the middle of the night, like at 2 in the morning. And the track to Something in the Way She Moves, was already cut. So all he had to do was overdub his bass part in terms of his involvement, because I don't think he really sang. So he didn't say a word to anybody. Came in, put his bass case on the floor, opened it, plugged in, played one take. So if you listen to Something in the Way She Moves, imagine him playing that bass part in one take. Then unplugging the bass, putting it back in the case, not a word, close it, and left. I was very impressed by that story. And I don't think Jeff had any reason to make it up. And I said, well, how did George do his solo? Did he do that with the orchestra? He said, yeah, he did that when the orchestra overdubbed their parts. So, I get to find out little stuff like that to me means a lot, because I'm so interested in the recording process. Like how different people put their stuff together. I mean, obviously in the beginning, the Beatles were encouraged to speed up their songs since they got She Loves You, It was kind of a ballad version when they first wrote it. So George Martin says, boys, you got to speed that up, come on. So they did. They got their first major, massive hit. What song am I going to do now? It's not any of those, I can tell you that. Well, I realize now that a lot of my songs were written for the future. So I wrote this when I left Fanny and I moved to Woodstock. I ended up in Woodstock. And I wrote it under a tree. It's not any of those. By the house. And by the way, I also wrote Your Own Way under that very same tree that same year. Which guitar am I going to play? Strat. Now the reason I play the Strat, not only does it have a different tone, it's tuned down a whole step. So I can play songs and still access the bottom top string, and have sort of the common tone effect that I want. Do you know what a common tone is? I'm not going to tell you. Got to look it up. I mean, if you don't know, come on. I will tell you that Todd Rundgren really wanted this guitar. Fanny we recorded our 4th album. Could you dim the lights here so I could see this tuner? Just for a second. Oh, great. Wow, everything went sharp. Okay, thank you. David, thank you so much. So, like I said, my songs are really written for the future. And this song is really needed right now. It's called Heaven is in Your Mind. Brothers and sisters, will you be united? Will you follow the signs and mind an open heart? Brothers and sisters, will you be united? Will you reach in the dark and spark an open mind? I can see it in your eyes. You really long to touch the sky. I can really see that heaven is in your mind. Holding it within your soul. You really long to let it go. I can really see that heaven is in your mind. Brothers and sisters, will you be united? Will the silence remain to drain to the end of time? 'Cause we are the children born from the silence, out of time and space, we race till the end of time. I can see it in your eyes. You really long to touch the sky. I can really see that heaven is in your mind. Holding it within your soul. You really long to let it go. I can really see that heaven is in your mind. Love is in your heart. Let it in, let it in, let it in, let it in. Love is in your heart. Let it in, let it in, let it in, let it in. Love is in your heart. Love is in your heart. Your heart. Oh, love is in your heart. Let it in, let it in. Heaven gotta find us together. Brothers and sisters, heaven is in your mind. So that was recorded in New York. Excuse me, I think around 1977. And then we did some vocal overdubs in LA. And for those of you who know about women's music, the only two women who would sing with us, because we were working with men, they boycotted singing on that album, where Chris Williamson and Vicki Randall. Everybody else flat out refused. That's just a sort of a historical fact that happens to be true. And look at how different it is now. Nobody says anything about men and women playing together. We've gone through that phase where we needed to be apart, separate for like 10, 20 years. And that was very useful. I didn't understand it at first, but I grew to understand why we needed that sort of cleansing separation and came back together. I don't know if that'll ever happen again, honestly. It was very surprising to me when I first went off and played with Chris. It was like 76. And if a man entered the room, I had asked Chris if I could have a couple of guys who had been in a band with me, if they could come to a gig in New York. And she said, oh, yeah. Well, so we're playing, and my friends came in, they were standing in the back of this church, and I hear, there's a man in here! I mean, the place went crazy. It was like the klaxons went off. That's how different it was. I'm not saying it to cast aspersions or make anybody feel bad. I'm just relating. It's like I'm reading to you from a stenographer's notebook, and then they started screaming, and then they got hysterical, and then we had to quiet them down, and we went on and finished the show, and it's what it is, A lot of black groups had to go through incredible experiences. Actually, what am I going to do now? Black groups before that. They had. How much time do I have? Is there what time is it? Have I been playing for an hour or something? That's what it is. Was I supposed to play for an hour?
Get more. Can you play another half hour? As usual, as much as you want?
We'll see. At 76, I find that my body is different. I don't have the same breath strength. It's different. I'll try. I'll do what I can.
As long as you want to.
Should I give out?
Yeah. It's totally up to you.
Thanks for getting my song list and lyrics, by the way. It really did help. I find that my body is different. I don't have the same. Let me see how this feels and sounds. I have my little guitar over there, which I was trying to change the strings last night, and everything just went to hell. I don't know what happened. I was in a danger string changing zone because my little saddle started to pop out and disappearing, and I don't know what the pickup that was installed. The whole reason I went through the whole thing is because you got to change. Do you even want to hear this? You don't care. You got to change the 8-volt battery. In order to change the 8-volt battery, you have to loosen the strings to get in there. It's kind of a nutty arrangement. So I thought, well, why don't I change the strings then? I got to loosen the strings, so I did the whole thing, and it just all started to fall apart. So what I'm saying is I normally play this on that guitar, which is sitting there in tatters. But it makes me feel good. Guitars are my friends. They literally are. But this is a song I wrote for Anne. We've been together 40 years, almost 40 years in October. When I wrote the song, I had no idea what I was going to write. All I know is I clicked on somebody's site. It was one fundraising for her album. I heard the first note, and I don't know what it was about that first note, but it really did something. And I ran to my acoustic guitar, and I started writing the song. And I basically stayed with this like a laser for between 3 to 5 days. And when I finished writing it, months later when I performed it, I don't perform this song every gig, but I realized what this song is about is love does away a thing. It doesn't. But it's the thing that we want the most. It is the most powerful force in the world. I mean,
And when I finished writing it,
scientists say that it could be that, you know, that dark force, that mysterious force that actually
I realized.
holds everything together. So this is called Love is Still Supreme. And it was a huge surprise to me. I had no idea the song was coming. Thank God I have time, you know. You got to put the time aside to let a song come through. So anyway. Been around the world in search of all the many ways to make a life well lived. And everything I found, I'm welcome to give it. Living under rocks and oceans, trying out the pills and potions. But what I found, it don't weigh a thing, and it can't mess around because love is still supreme. Love is still supreme. Love, 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 love. Ooh. Oh. After all the concentration, after all the time and labor, still knocking it around, making room for everything that I found. Yeah, never knew a home so fine. Never want to leave your eyes. Never was much for hope, but I'm living proof that you never know because love is still supreme. Love is still supreme. Love, 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 love. Give me that love, gotta catch that dream. Love is still supreme. Love is still supreme. Love, 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 love. Ooh. Oh. You're gonna make my mistakes, gonna sink beneath the waves. Circular square, it don't weigh a thing, still you're riding scared. Yeah, you can take a fine vacation, making scores and tabulations, notches on your belt, but still wondering about the best that you felt. And then is love is still supreme. Love is still supreme. Love, 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 love. Give me some love, gotta catch that dream. Love is still supreme. Love is still supreme. Love, 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 love. Love. Give me love. Catch that dream. Love still supreme. Ah. Nice, I like that song. Just thought of this one. Wrote this in Woodstock, 70s. What are the first words? And what are the first words? Do, 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 do. Wrote this in Woodstock. I know the second verse. See the eagle flying by the window. You know he hasn't got a heart to show. But everybody's got a chance to follow. to behold. That's it. So interesting. I don't like the second half of that song wanted to appear, I guess. But the story around this was I was driving around Woodstock around 70, late 74. And so beautiful, oh my God. And I could understand why Todd, he just couldn't wait to finish our album because we were recording in New York in the winter of 71. It was really cold. And he would be talking to his manager, just wanted to get to Woodstock. And I thought, why does he want to get to Woodstock so bad, you know? But then when I moved there myself, I realized, wow, how magical it was. And I got lost. I was driving around in the summer. Forget where I was going, but I got lost. And when I got lost, I realized something, and I figured it out, that I felt magnetically aligned with the land. That I had not felt since I lived in the Philippines. So I felt so, that's why it's called So Good to Be Home. This is my mother's favorite song, actually. And so I saw this guy walking along the road, and he had a horse and a white dog walking alongside of him. So I asked him directions. And we ended up having a conversation. He told me that he was, I said, what do you do? And he said, oh, I'm working on this boat called the Clearwater, and we're cleaning up, it's gonna clean up the Hudson. Well, I didn't know that my father's mother was an archivist who was very close to Pete Seeger. Pete was behind the Clearwater, cleaning up the Hudson. And he got all the first songs for his album, Songs from Appalachia, from her. She had recorded them on her wire recorder or whatever. So that was one thing. And the other thing was that his horse was named Chippewa and his dog was named Sweetwater. And they're both in the first verse, but I don't know how they pop up right now. I just can't remember. But the first verse is about him and his dog and his, you know. So, I don't know, maybe just one more song. But what? Hmm? Oh, that's a great song. Thank you. Well, thank you so much. I'm so surprised by this song because it was in the year that I left Fanny, and I was dying, you know. There was a Van Halen, cobwebs on the ceiling, literally, and I thought, that's weird. I mean, I hadn't been home for the longest time, but I ended up writing this song in my room, and we recorded it with Todd. He did a great job, I realize now. I'm so surprised by this song because it was in the year that I left Fanny, and I was dying. And it saved my life. There was a Van Halen cobwebs on the ceiling. I spent maybe 3 days and nights in writing, and I just played it over and over again. And it really did save my life. I mean, not that I would have killed myself. I never even thought of that. Or I just feel like it saved my life in some fundamental way. So. Everybody's wanting to be my friend when I want to be alone. Everybody's looking inside my heart, but I want it for my own. Taking the long road, baby, I'm taking it slow. Taking the long road. I'm tired of faking. Everybody's talking behind my back, pretending to be my friend. Sometimes I'm crazy, and sometimes not. Will I make it till the end? Taking the long road. taking the long road home. I'm tired of faking it. Long road home. Baby, I wanna go home. Oh, You sound like a big audience. For that, I thank you. Thank you, Cornell, for giving me the chance to come up here and play. I'm pretty sure I played here with both Fanny and Chris. Pretty sure. And I know that this college has just such a long history, and there's a lot of threads that have passed through here. So I'm happy to be a part of that, and I hope now that I'm ensconced in the Cornell
Sound like a
firmament,
big
shall we
audience.
say. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the sound.